everyone, Hurricane Liz here, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to tier up on merch. And I'm not talking about tier up because you don't have any sales. By the end of today's video, if you're brand new, you're going to know exactly what it takes to get more t-shirt slots available so that you can get some sales. And so it's all about merch. And the truth be told, I've been reading the questions and comments and know that your number one concern is how to get past that 10 level. And that's exactly what we're going to cover. So by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to get more sales and make more money. So let's get started. Okay, so let's just go into tip 1. And again, like I said before, don't be sad if you haven't sold any. Hopefully these tips help you and help you make your first sale especially. So, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna upload a t-shirt and I'm gonna show you some of the logic behind what this tip is. So where we've gotta go is under create on merch by Amazon. I'm gonna select products and I would go in here and deselect all, right? And then I just wanna sell on .com the standard t-shirt. So it's .com standard t-shirt, that's all I want. Always start with standard t-shirts. If you're brand new, don't bother with premium. Most people buy standard. So already, that's another bonus tip that I just threw in there. So all right, now we go into edit details when we're actually doing the design. And I'm just gonna, for the sake of this example, just go with men's. And I'm just gonna pick black and white, that's it, nothing more. Usually 3 is the optimum number of colors, but I'm gonna go with black and white in .com. And my price point, here is what I'm talking about. We don't even have to enter a piece of art yet on here in order to see what my tip is going to be. And that tip is sell shirts for very little profit. And now while some of you might be like, that makes 0 sense, Liz, at the end of the day, I started this because I wanted to make more money. I understand that. However, you're never going to make more money if you stay at tier 10. The real key to making money in this business is getting to tier 500. Yes, I said tier 500. Even when you get to level 25 or level 100, while you will start to churn a little bit of money, it's not going to be anywhere near compared to the potential you will get when you get to the 500 and above level. So what you want to do is you want to put this as low a price as possible in order to just generate yourself some sales. And I think like the break even is like 1307 or 1310 or something like that. So it's 1308. Obviously, it just goes to show you my math sucks, and if I'm able to do this, anybody can. But I would price them around the 1311 point, even if you really want to push it 1399, where you're only making 70 cents royalty. And the real key is here to get a bunch of sales so that now those sales tier you up. So you don't really care about profit at first. All you care about is tiering up because, as I said before, I cannot stress this enough. Tiering up is the key to making money with merch. So that's tip 1. Now let's get into tip number 2. Tip 2 is pretty much something different than what I've recommended in the past, only because times change, things evolve. And the one thing that I've noticed on my brand new merch accounts is, guess what? I'm selling a lot more trending t-shirts. So what do I mean by that? Let's jump into Merch Hunter, which is part of the Merch Informer suite, to show you exactly what I'm talking about and throw out some ideas for you to actually sell. So I'm in Merch Hunter and I'm going to go ahead and just look at the best sellers. I'm going to look at top 200 just for no rhyme or reason, and I really don't care what the price is and nor the keywords. I'm going to just sort this by sales rank and then hit search, and I'm going to see what pops up. And what's going to show up here are the products and or the t-shirts that are trending right now. And we can clearly see St. Patrick's Day is where it's at the moment. Anything St. Patrick's Day is at the top of the heap. I'd also imagine that in here there will be some political shirts. Those are just trending things. Those are hot things. But St. Patrick's Day shirts of any actual type are trending, like this floss like a boss. Pinch me and I'll punch you. Here's a political shirt. So those are like the 2 really big things that are hot right now. And if you ask me to actually, here's a retirement one. What niche is hot right now? Obviously it would be these. So would I sell some? Probably so. I would try to come up with a sub niche of those big niches to actually kind of niche in there and make some sales. And I'll kind of give you an example. So what this is it's a blend of picking a hot topic and or a trending topic and then sub-niching into that to get some sales. Because fact of the matter is, if we decide to sell a St. Patrick's Day shirt, we're going to be competing with all the other St. Patrick's Day shirts because that's what people are going to be searching, St. Patrick's Day shirts, right? But the fact is that there are some possibilities that people sub-niche into St. Patrick's Day because they want a particular shirt. Sort of like floss like a boss St. Patrick's Day shirt. that's an example of a sub niche where I would actually go into Amazon and take a look at that. But off the top of my head, I'll kind of give you an example. All right, so I typed in St. Patrick's Day shirt and floss came up. So I'm going to click on that and see what pops up. And now there's only 559 results. Here's Floss Like a Boss. It came up immediately. Another Floss Like a Boss. There's a few out there that have the floss on them, and they're all doing pretty good. So I would look at trying to jump into something like this as opposed to St. Patrick's Day. Another example that I can give you is Father's Day shirt. If we actually put Father's Day shirt in here, we can sort of see what pops up to kind of get some ideas for sub niches of Father's Day. And while I don't see any yet, what I can actually give you an example of is, let's say we have a Father's Day shirt for golfing, right? That's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a father, is a lot of them like to golf. So Father's Day shirt, golfing, right? I'm going to put golfing right here and see what pops up. And now there's 572 results for this. And we can see like how well do they sell. These still sell well, like the Golf Father still sells well even right now when it's nowhere near close to Father's Day. This one too, Always Wash Your Balls. It kind of gives you some great examples. Best Dad by Par still is selling. So these are great examples of sub niches. Here's another Best Dad by Par. Sub niches within a larger niche that is trending, where you can really capitalize on the hotness of the topic as well as make some sales to tier up. And this brings me to another bonus tip that I'm going to toss in there just because I love you guys. And that is, when you have a tier, let's say, for example, you are in tier 10, always make sure that you're at least 80% capacity. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say for example, we're at tier 100. What is 80% of 100? That is 80 shirts. So what you want to make sure is that when you start selling really well, you're at least 80 shirts, so that when it's time to tier up, Amazon sees you're almost at capacity, and that's kind of like a bonus, and they'll tier you up much faster. Same thing for if you're at level 500. Take 500 times 80%. That's 400, I think. So 400, when you're at 400 shirts, you can tier up a lot faster than if you were only at 169, which people like me are at because we're just lazy. So always be at 80 to 90% of your tier capacity in order to get the tier up. And that brings me to the third and final tip. And that tip, I've talked about this numerous times, and I know a lot of people still don't understand the logic behind that, but that tip is buy your own shirts, particularly in 10 and tier 25. And the reason for that is, yeah, I understand at 13, we thought about 13, 11, let's just do the math here, 13, 11, and we'd have to buy like 35 shirts. That's like $450. But at the end of the day, are we not operating a business? And does that not mean that we usually have to make an investment in order to make the business work? The answer to that should be yes. Now, if you're short on funds, don't do this. But if you can actually afford it, I would definitely buy my way to a higher tier. However, if you can't do that, a suggestion would be find a local business or some type of organization that needs t-shirts. Perfect example is, I run an Amazon mastermind 4 times a year. This year, unfortunately, or this current one, we're going to have to push back because of coronavirus, but we always need t-shirts, and we usually buy them locally for $20. However, if somebody sent me an ingenious enough design for the professor of Amazon, I know he's got a logo, but they could come up with a saying or something, and then they sent me a link to their shirt, I would order 25 to 30 shirts. That's an example of a business that needs t-shirts. So you're able to take your design skills and leverage those to get a local business and or a school to purchase the shirts from you. And remember, you dictate the price. So as long as you sell at 13, 11 or higher, then you get the tier up through Amazon. So if you can't figure out how else to get a tier up, think of a local business and or organization that could use your design skills as well as your knowledge of Amazon merch. And that's basically it for my 3 tips. Again, remember, if you like the content, subscribe. I'm always bringing to you merch content and FBA content. And if you have any other questions and or comments, post them below. I always personally answer those. I'll see you all on the next video.